Hey yogis, this is a practice for when your low back hurts. It might be that you have acute inflammation right now or back spasming. It might be that your low back is just a little bit sore or that you're recovering from a back injury. So it's about 20 minutes. Let me know how it goes. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you on the mat. When your back is hurting, sometimes the last thing you want to do is movement. But a lot of physios agree you don't want to rest it too much. You want to bring mobility back and keep yourself strong as soon as you possibly can. So we'll do some gentle movements today that keep mobility, keep the strength of the low back, and hopefully even give us some relief. So we'll start moving slowly on all fours. Keeping the area warm, we'll do some gentle cats and cows. We'll do about 15 of them. First, melting the belly down, looking up, send the sits bones high. If there's pain at all, pause right before that pain sensation comes, so you might be limiting your range of motion today. On an exhale, start to tuck the tail, round the spine, look behind. Again, pause right before there's any pain. No need to go deep today. There's one. Inhaling, arch, only till comfort. Exhale, round the spine. Keep linking breath and movement. The key is mindful motion. We don't want to exacerbate, of course. At the same time, we want to keep our joints lubricated. We want to keep the heat and the mobility in the muscles. You're about halfway through. Slower is better. Keep keeping a really close eye on the sensation that's arising. We've got 5 more. Three. Remember, slow is better for now. 2. 1 more. Empty out. Neutral spine. For this one, it's like wagging your tail. You'll send the hips to the left as you look to the left. Again, stop before pain arises. And then swing the hips to the right. Take your gaze to the right. Pause before pain happens. And if you have pain the whole time, it might be just a rest day. And stay in motion now. If it's a very mild, like under 3 level pain, let's keep ourselves in motion. We'll do a total of 10. We're about 1/3 of the way there. Just wagging the hips, gathering information. Notice if one side hurts more than the other. Got 2 more. One more each side. And then neutral. Come sit down on your heels. Walking slowly back up to sit upright. Tip your hips over to the left, so the heels will be on the right. Sitting upright, we'll sweep the left arm up tall. Only if it's okay in your body, tip over to the right, breathing into the length you make. It's not the deepest stretch you'd want to do. Some light stretching could feel good. A couple more deep breaths. All the way in and out. Last one. Back up to neutral. Use your hands, help yourself back onto the heels, sitting upright. And then send the seat over to the right. The heels are at the left of the hips now. Pause to sit upright, see how that feels. If you can add on, reach the right arm up. If it's still okay, tip it over to the side. Use that left hand as an anchor. Breathe into your length. Let it be a light stretch today. Is it possible to release any holding at the belly and the low back and the hips? Breathing away tension, gripping. Take 2 more cycles of breath. One more. Emptying. And back to neutral spine. Use your hands for help. Come sit back on the heels. Crawl to sit upright. Just pause to check in. And next, we'll move into lunging. So, tip yourself forward. Use your hands. We'll come onto all fours to begin. It may be helpful to get blocks underneath your hands, but if you don't have blocks, a pillow can do it, a chair, or you may find you don't need props at all. If you do have props, come onto the second height for blocks. Let's extend the right leg out behind, and then send this foot outside the right hand. Let the hips come gently forward, but not all the way. Spread through the collarbones. Be pulling in just subtly with the right heel. If you're all right, climb onto the thigh, sit up taller, and send this left hip forward and up. Breathing. A mild stretch once again, sweeping the left arm high. We'll tip it over to the right. Not the deepest stretch you do, but a light, loving one. 2 more giant breaths. Return to neutral, hands to the thigh, hands down to your prop, and then slide slowly back into all fours. You can wag the tail, recover, and then come back to neutral. Extend the left leg out behind you. Place this foot outside the left hand. First thing is bend the knee, let the hips sink forward, but not all the way. Spread broad through the collar. Put some energy into this left heel, squeezing it toward you. Breathe. You're doing all right. Climb onto the thigh. Lift the right side hip flexor up and in. Sit tall and breathe. If you can add on, reach the right arm high. Tip it over to the left, just gently. Giant full body breaths to make some inner space and inner softness. 2 more cycles. Come back onto the thigh. Lower the hands back onto your props. And then slowly slide your way back into all fours. Okay. Next, we'll need just 1 prop, and this can be anything from a block to a tennis ball, softball, even a rolled up yoga mat, something that will put some pressure on. We're looking for the psoas, and we're looking for a release. So if you do have a block, you want just the inner edge of it to come touch you underneath the navel, just above the bony hip bowl. Okay, so this kind of like soft little flank of the front body. You're going to lower yourself onto it. And the first thing you want to do is climb onto the forearms and just take note. What I often find is that at first it feels awkward, but not like a whole lot. And then as time goes on, the body gives into gravity. That properly has time to get in there and massage the fibers, eventually to palpate the psoas, which is quite deep. Keep releasing at the lower back. Allow yourself to soften around the prop. Allow the head to release. And this is really one that you'll want to keep for over 2 minutes to get the most out of it. 5 or 6 minutes is ideal. And feel free to make small movements to adjust the positioning. Often you'll know when you found the spot, as it'll feel like a trigger point, just a little bit of soreness that feels relieved by the prop. you've got pain on both sides, you might pause this video and do this same thing on the other side. Chances are, though, you have pain that's more intense on one side, and that's pretty common. So we're going to roll onto the side body now. And I want you to roll so that the side that hurts is on top. Prop yourself with a hand. You won't need a prop for this at all. Sometimes the pain will move into the glute medius and the outside of the hip as the glute medius tries to take over some of the work of the lumbar. So we'll address that trigger point by taking the top leg a little bit behind, a few inches behind, maybe half a foot. Point the toes down, that's important. And then take your thumb and look for a trigger point at the outside of your hip. You can move around. It should be right toward the top of the femur, somewhere in the side of the butt. When you have it, you'll know it. Hold it, and then sweep the leg up and back, keeping the toes down. Take it forward, bend the knee, touch the knee to the ground. Again, send the leg back behind, point the toes down, lift up, keep the toes down as you take the knee forward and down toward the ground. We'll do it 8 more times. Send the leg back, keep the toes down as you lift, keep the pressure point, bend the knee down. Again, back, up, down. Keep the pressure point. Back, up, down. Again. Got 3 more. Last one. And then release. Same thing. If you've got pain on both sides, pause this video, do that same exercise 10 times on the other side. Otherwise, we're going to take this onto our backs. You can bring a prop along. A block works, so does a rolled up blanket. Okay. It's coming onto the back, bend the knees one at a time, planting feet on earth. At first, walk the feet just a little wider than your hips. Let the knees knock toward one another in resting position. Plant your hands on your belly and relax the head. Take this time in resting pose to release behind the neck, to release at the mid-back and the low back. And the hips. Enjoy breath for a few more moments. Now, if this is day 1 of your acute pain, I would skip the prop. But if you're feeling ready, you could plant your heels, lift your seat, and send the prop underneath your sacrum, that bony part of the low back. It's not your lumbar, it's not the arch, and it's not quite the butt. Maybe it's the top of the butt. Draw the right knee up toward your chest. And slowly extend the left leg. Now, if that triggered too much of a reaction, you can come out of it, remove the prop, and just do this exercise without it. But if it's all right, we're going to hold it. Again, looking for that psoas release so that it stops tugging on the low back. Flex the left foot, make that leg a little longer, and extend it down or set it back down. Keep giving over to the hold, just giving in to gravity. We'll make small circles in the right knee using hands for help. Notice if this triggers a reaction. And then set the right foot back down. Bend the left knee, plant that foot. Hug the left knee in towards your chest. If it's all right, you'll extend the right leg long. You can always remove the prop. But if you're all right, keep squeezing the left knee. Keep thinking of letting go at the low, deep belly. Take full breaths to soften your inner body. Flex the right foot a lot, make that leg a little longer and set it down firmly. Keep it as heavy as can be. Gently pulling on the left knee as you breathe softly. Make small circles with this left knee. And then place the left knee back down and extend both legs out long. Now, if it's too much, don't tolerate pain. Come out. Otherwise, hang out. We're here for about a minute. It's full psoas release. If there's a light pain, notice it, be with it fully. Breathing into it. If it's anything above a 3, again, please come out slowly. Sometimes you can walk so fully into a light amount of intensity or a light amount of pain, sensation. And then you can observe it as it dissipates. We'll see if that'll happen for you in 30 more seconds. If this is feeling fruitful, you might just stay right here. Up to 7 minutes is excellent. If you're ready though, we'll slowly start one at a time. Bend a knee, bend the other knee. Press down through heels to lift the seat and remove the prop. Let the seat come back to the mat, and then slowly, gently sway the knees from side to side. Send the knees off to one side, finding fetal position. Take this moment to truly surrender. Using your hands for help, climb back up for a brief final seat just to say goodbye. Thank you for being here. I hope you recover swiftly and well. Nice to see you. Leave a comment, say hi. Namaste.